Reviews are now core to marketplaces, but TripAdvisor was kind of early in that. So how did you first, I guess, start with kind of aggregating reviews and then really prompt people to kind of leave reviews and kind of get that critical mass with them?
Yeah, so it's a particular challenge when you go to a site that's all about reviews of software products or whatever, and you look and like it's got none or it's got one. And so I've been involved in a couple of marketplace companies, TripAdvisor, obviously, Glassdoor is another marketplace for comments on your employer, Car Gurus, another, used car reviews, etc. So with TripAdvisor, we solved that problem a little bit accidentally in the beginning because we would crawl guidebooks like Fedora's or Frommer's or Lonely Planet, things that some of you may not ever heard of, but that's how we used to travel with that guidebook. And those were very structured sites. Thank you. We wouldn't take their content, we would take the title of the page and then link over. What that meant, if you landed on the Marriott Marquis in New York City, we actually had two or three references that talk specifically about that hotel because it was a pretty popular one. So we had a good enough value proposition to make the traffic stick to our site. And then on a whim, the whim's the wrong word, because we believed in quickly testing new ideas, somebody whose name is actually unknown in TripAdvisor lore said, hey, why not let people write their own reviews? And people like me thought, that's a dumb idea. I'd much rather trust Fedora's or a real travel writer that's seen 100 hotels than Aunt Susie, who's never traveled in her life and writes one review. But in our philosophy of test, see if it works, we put the button up. And sure enough, a percentage of our traffic wanted to write their own review, which raised the second concern: is who would take the time to write a review unless they had a complaint? And the last thing we wanted to be was a site that everyone was dumping terrible travel stories. We were supposed to be an inspirational site, helping you plan a great trip, not just avoiding terrible hotels or cities. Net average review was always on a 5-point scale, was always above 4. People really liked sharing their experiences. And so we added the button, people clicked, they wrote good reviews. We thoroughly vetted them, read them, made sure the person was a real person, then posted. We automated that later on. But the asking, and then there's some growth hacks about thanking people for writing the review, showing them how many times people read their review, giving them a badge if they wrote 3 reviews. This was like an astonishing, at the time, growth hack of like, let's create a badge system, give people a senior restaurant reviewer when they wrote their 3rd review for restaurants, because we wanted more and more. Google loved our fresh content. We wanted more reviews. You were part of the community. Lots of reasons to collect the reviews. And sure enough, when we sent out the email that said, you're only 2 reviews away from your senior reviewer badge, that generated way more reviews. Wow. Meant nothing. Like, we put a little badge next to your avatar. Like, it wasn't worth any points. It wasn't rewarding, but it was a little bit of fame. It was a tap on the back. It was a thank you. And that was one of the many mechanisms that helped our reviews skyrocket. Note, if you're collecting reviews, nobody ever wanted to write a review to help TripAdvisor. People wanted to write a review to help their fellow travelers, to pay it forward. When we changed our language, seems obvious now, but when we changed our language to like help your fellow traveler, that dramatically improved the reviews rather than please write a review for us.
And I believe you have over a billion reviews on TripAdvisor today.
Yep, over 1 billion and still growing at a staggering rate. And And the company, could clearly do more if they wanted to collect more reviews. We got more sophisticated over time where, hey, if you looked at a hotel carefully and you said, I'm going on July 13th, hey, July 15th, since you were a member, we don't know if you stayed there, but we can send an email. Did you stay at the Hotel Commonwealth? Other travelers would love to hear your thoughts. Or did you stay somewhere else? Please let them know. That sort of thing.